Okay, so let's look at number 27 where we have acetylene gas, which is a flammable gas, and it's prepared in in the lab using this balanced equation here. And it wants to know how many moles of calcium carbide are needed to prepare 10 grams of acetylene gas. And so this one is working the same way that we've been doing in class, but we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with the product. And as I stated before, you always start with the information that you have been provided with. In this case, I have been provided with the 10 grams of acetylene gas, C2H2. And so that's where I'm going to start. Okay. And then I have to go from grams to moles of C2H2. And I use the molar mass to do so. I've already calculated that for you, and it is 26.04 grams. All right, and here I've rounded, but if you have a whole number and you want to keep that in your calculator, that's perfectly fine. I'm just doing that for space purposes. All right, now that's only going to get me to moles of C2H2 or acetylene gas, and that's not going to answer the question that I'm being asked. So I have to go to my balanced equation and figure out how many moles of acetylene gas will get me to the moles of the calcium carbide. All right, and in this particular case, we're looking at the mole ratio, 1 to 1, 2 to 2 to 1, whatever. All right, and so we use the coefficients in the balanced equation to determine how many moles of those particular compounds are needed. And so as I'm looking here in the balanced equation, there isn't a number in front, so that's understood to be 1 mole. So there's only 1 mole of this acetylene gas in this particular equation. But I'm going to calcium carbide, so I look here and I notice that there's also no number in front of it, so that also is a 1. All right, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio, which is really nice because they cancel out. All right, and then I really don't have to go any further because at this point I'm looking for moles, not for anything else. All right, and so I will show you, I'm canceling out my units here. So my grams cancel, which is good. My moles of acetylene cancel, which is also good. And I'm left with moles of calcium carbide, which is what I'm looking for. And so in your calculators, what you're going to do is the 10.0 grams divided by 26.04, and then in this case times 1 because this is on the top, divided by 1. But again, you don't really need to do that step in your calculator because it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Or if it was 2 to 2, same thing. But if they're different numbers, if you have, like, let's say this was a 2 and this was a 1, then you would have to do that math. All right, and so when we put that in, we get 0.384 moles. Now, I only needed 3 significant digits because I started with 3 here. So my final answer is 0.384 moles. Again, make sure that you have those units. The calcium carbide part of it is not necessary, but if you have it, that's great. That kind of keeps you on track. Okay?